Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood.
Welcome back to the show.
That's one that I learned at Juilliard.
You don't have to do the accent with it. Do you have to do the...
No, that was standard American.
Red leather, yellow leather, good blood, bad blood.
That was standard American speech. God, what did we call it? It
really fucked you up at that school, huh?
Oh, fucking so stupid.
What is a standard American? Who is the standard American?
Who set the standard?
Yeah, who sets the standard for what it is to be American?
Juilliard.
Somebody from Juilliard.
Somebody from Juilliard.
Wow. Oh, man, fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit, man. I don't want a standard American sound like that.
I don't either, though. You know?
Yeah, I don't either. No one does. No one does, which is why when you first graduate from Juilliard, you walk into a casting and they go, and how many years has it been since you it's been 1 year. Okay, here we go. He's still going to be talking like and robot in 1, 2, 3, action.
Guys, you know what's funny? Molestation.
Are you talking about the act or the episode?
Neither.
We all watched the episode, and the McPoyles are great. They're super funny.
Amazing.
Jimmy Simpson, Nate Mooney, so funny. Uncle Jack, Andrew Friedman.
We were definitely at a time where we were trying to do something that we weren't seeing on TV. And what I'm realizing now, 17 years later, is that there was a reason why it wasn't on TV.
Yeah, because it ain't funny.
It wasn't that funny.
No, it's not that funny.
I don't know.
It was funny to us at the time, kind of.
There's some funny stuff. Look, the idea that your character is upset that he didn't get molested.
That's funny.
It's funny. It is objectively funny.
It's kind of understandable, right? Like, I think that's what I like about it, is there is a reality to it. As despicable as it is, there is a reality to being like, well, wait a second. If he's molesting those guys, and those guys smelled like a couple of, quote, unwiped assholes, as I believe you put it in the episode.
My character.
Well, your character, sure. Then why wasn't he molesting cute, sweet, little old me?
The joke being that your ego is so out of control that you can't take not being molested. But if I have to explain the joke, that's
I was going to say, go ahead and explain it.
If I have to explain it, then it's
I don't think we
working.
shy away from that kind of stuff now. I think it's just our execution's different. And most likely 17 years from now, we'll look back on it and be like, wow, I would do something completely different.
Well, I would like to point out one of the things about that episode was that was the first time that we ran up against some real resistance with FX, because that episode was originally written to be not about a gym teacher, but about a Catholic priest. And FX got a little squirrely about that, even though it was all over the news at the time, and it was a big deal in the country, and it was all over the world, really. And they got a little uncomfortable with the idea of saying that a Catholic priest was molesting you guys, even though in the episode he isn't molesting any of the kids. And even though it was true, because they were the Catholic priests were and still are. Oh, guys. This isn't supposed to be funny, is it? This podcast, I mean.
No, the show is funny. This is the analysis.
Oh, man, it's like... I
okay,
hear
Megan
ya.
is laughing.
And
we gotta get her a microphone.
I know it.
I'm telling you, she doesn't want it. She's laughing.
Are you guys uncomfortable talking about FX being uncomfortable with the episode?
No,
and we almost quit the show over it, guys. We were about to really.
Holy shit, that would have been dumb.
Oh, it would have been so dumb.
That would have been so dumb.
No, but I mean, to our credit, we did realize that at a certain, and to their credit,
we backed down.
Well, hold on a second. To their credit, what they said was, we understand you guys are passionate about this and we get it, but will you at least try and see if you can make it something else and see if it's still funny? And we were like, well, that's fair. We would be assholes if we didn't at least try it and see if we liked it.
Was it because of pressure that they would get from the sort of Catholic powers that be?
Yes,
that is correct. Yeah, they were worried about the right.
Let's go ahead and call that out for what that is. Like, that is some dark shit to be like, we know that there's been a problem. We've been out here molesting boys, but don't you fucking talk about it on your TV show. We will destroy you. Like, own your shit, man.
Yeah.
Own your shit. Beg your forgiveness from your Lord and do better. I want to take it back to, let's, on a lighter note, I want to switch it over to Jimmy Simpson and Nate Mooney.
Yeah, they're the funniest part of the entire episode.
Jimmy and Nate, though, rewatching those episodes, like we had some stuff scripted in there. We had some ideas, but they also fully created those characters.
Yeah, totally.
And pushed them way further than what I was sort of imagining on the page. And one thing I picked up on was Nate huffing the spray can. I guess, I don't remember how this happened, but 3 seasons later, we had me just huffing spray paint.
Yeah.
But in the first season, we're like, well, this isn't a crazy character who does this.
Right.
We also established in this episode that you have sisters.
Yeah, I have two sisters.
Twin
You can
sisters.
see them.
We never hear from them again.
No.
And a grandmother.
And she must have passed by now.
Oh, okay.
The twin sisters, we completely forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
Like we scripted them in, and I say, there was some line about like them, and then we just kind of forgot that we established.
You know who we didn't forget about? Uncle Jack.
Oh man,
We sure didn't.
do you remember where we found him?
At the Groundlings.
Yeah, Quirknut.
Quirknut.
Say Quirknut, Mike.
He did. He played a character, and I don't know. He had
the parrot.
A parrot.
Oh, yeah.
named
Parrot.
Quirknut.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're like, this guy is the
Is
funniest
fucking
guy I've
hilarious.
ever seen. And we wrote that part specifically for him.
We did. And he still, to this day, every time he pops up in an episode, there are very few guest actors that we have that make me laugh as hard as Andrew Friedman as Uncle Jack. But 2 of those people would be Jimmy Simpson and Nate Mooney. Truly.
Yeah.
Very.
Two of the best.
But yeah, we established all those characters. And that was the first episode where we saw your mom, too,
Yeah,
no?
we established a
A lot of main characters. Yeah. Lynn Marie Stewart.
Lynn Marie Stewart.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, was that her first episode?
Yeah.
I think that was her
Man.
first episode. Yeah.
She's so good. What's going on with you guys? How are things? I saw you down on set earlier. We're in the middle of filming the 15th season.
Week two of the 15th season.
We
yeah.
couldn't get through that scene. That was fun. That was the
was
first time
fun.
we've had a scene where I was like, this is really funny. I'm having trouble getting through it.
We got a bit tickled while shooting, which is still the joy of doing the show, is that we make each other laugh.
Yeah.
But what about the Molested episode? I don't recall. I don't recall a lot of laughs.
No.
Coach Belding from Saved by the Bell.
Principal Belding.
Principal Building.
Principal Belding.
Yep.
Yeah. Dennis Haskins.
Yes.
Was our first celebrity guest casting, I think, in the
Yeah.
history of the show.
Big get. He's a big get.
It kind of was for us. We were like, wow,
Absolutely.
this is an established actor coming in and do our thing. We went from that to Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
We did like immediately. Like, okay, we got Dennis Haskins, and now our next celebrity guest will be Danny DeVito.
I'll be interested to see how much the show changes for us when we start watching the second season, because I haven't seen those episodes in equally as long. And is it going to be as painful as it is to watch the first season?
No.
No.
It's definitely a step up. It's a step in the right direction as far as I recall.
There's some really strong episodes in the second season.
I think what's strange is like, I certainly don't want to go through the entire catalog of the show and like apologize for what we did. I think for me, it's more like looking back. It's not even about the content itself. It's about looking back 17 years in your life and you see yourself like, and you're like, oh, that doesn't reflect who I am. It's like weird. You look back at like home movies.
But it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you were a man in his mid to late 20s and now you're a man in your mid 40s. It shouldn't represent you now.
Do you think
like
Steven
that would be
Spielberg
crazy.
feels that if he sees Jaws, where he's like, this doesn't represent me.
Good though.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He probably he
really
just
good.
sees all.
He's probably got some clunky scenes that he looks at and is like, oh, I wouldn't stage that one that way anymore or something.
Well, I wonder if we wind up having people listen to this podcast and get pissed off at us because they're like, I like those episodes. Why are you guys talking shit on them? And I don't think I'm talking shit on them as much as like,
I think that's definitely going to be the case. I mean, they're like bands that I love where they hate their first album, and I would argue it's their best.
I think that's a classic tortured artist perspective, if I can call ourselves that. But like, is that you're just constantly trying to make the best thing that ever was made, right? Every time you set out, you're like, well, this could be the best one that we do. Maybe not 15 seasons in, but and then you look back on it and you're like, well, it wasn't the best thing ever made, and then you pick it apart. Let's ask Spielberg. Do you still, Mr. Spielberg?
Steven,
how do you feel about the first Jaws movie?
I think it's pretty good. I'm a big fan. I mean, I still like it. I don't don't love everything about it, but there's some things that I think still work. And I do regret that the shark didn't look better because I still think the movie would have been better if if we'd been able to see the shark more. But that turned out to be a good thing according to some people. I don't know. I stand by it. I stand by it.
I don't know. Is that a bad Steven Spielberg impression?
What are you talking? Well, let's have Steven. Steven, how is your impression of yourself? Is it good or is it bad?
I don't think I sound like that.
Well, thanks for coming by, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you. That was, Steven Spielberg. Wow. Good. What a get.
How about this? When we wrapped the season, do you have any memories of how you felt? Like once we were done, like, do you recall that at all? That you were like, we did it. We got this thing in the can. How long was it from when we wrapped to when we aired?
Okay. Well, I remember the last day we shot was actually, we were shooting the underage drinking episode. If I'm not mistaken, we were on location at the house where the big party happens.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we busted out a bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
Yeah, you sent us a photo from that the other day, didn't you? Wasn't that?
Yeah. I definitely have a photo of the four of us in one of our trailers, like drinking whiskey and.
All right, so we're all jazzed up. We shot a season of television, and then what happened?
Then we went into post and we fell into full despair because we had ruined it.
Yeah.
And then eventually we came out of that and we had episodes that we felt like pretty good about. Right. And we were like, okay, this is different from other things that are on TV. Like, maybe this will work.
I think I thought it was pretty funny. I mean,
I felt great about it.
When we were done. Yeah. The initial cuts, no, those are never good.
But then, did we do a premiere or did we do a premiere?
No. We all went out to a bar.
Yes, because they were launching Starved, a show called Starved. We went to like a TCA thing at the Beverly.
Yep, and we watched
Hilton.
it on like televisions.
Yeah, and they had like big screens in like the bar area.
Yep.
And we watched
people were just
Starved,
sort of talking,
and then we watched
while
ours.
it was going because they were drinking and eating at the same time.
That's
it was sort of like a background band or something like that.
Yeah. It was like a lounge act.
Yeah, nobody was really paying attention to it.
Right.
And then that was it. And then we went to a big premiere that they had for Over There.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, there was a show that they had that they thought was going to be their big hit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It didn't work.
They put it over there in the trash can.
Then... Yeah,
over there in the trash.
Yeah, and then we proceeded to not really see any promotion or anything like that. And then they put us on at 10:30 at night on a Thursday in the summer.
Yeah,
and so we celebrated. Yeah, that was a big night. And then we celebrated that by going out to a bar.
We aired on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, right. The night that the show premiered, we went to a bar in Santa Monica.
Yeah, it was that Philly bar.
Yeah, the Philly bar.
Yeah.
And we just invited a bunch of our friends, and it wasn't like an official thing. Like it's not like the drinks were free or anything.
Nope. And once again, we asked everybody to sort of quiet down while it was on, and the patrons of the bar were like, "Fuck you,
get fucked." Yeah, I don't give a shit about your stupid show. I'm not here for that.
Come to the bar to watch TV.
Yeah.
And then the ratings, if I recall, were abysmal.
Yeah, abysmal.
Like
pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Like nobody.
Yeah, really nobody watched. But I remember also being excited for some reason. We thought, oh, well, no, they know what they're doing. Like, maybe it'll work. And then we got a call the next day from their publicity people, and they were like, yeah, so, right, like, no, this is like nobody watched it. Nobody watched it.
This is like nobody watched it.
This is really bad.
I do remember that there was one important statistic that we did okay in, which was that the people who did watch it watched it through to the end.
Yes,
so
retention.
Retention. Right.
They would monitor retention at the quarter-way mark, so every 15 minutes.
Right.
So if there was like, let's say, I don't know, throw out a number, 175 people across the country who tuned in, 175 people watched it all the way through to the end. And then we built on that.
And then we built on that from there, but probably it was Danny.
Yeah, well, what happened, and I guess we'll get into this with the next podcast, but what happened was that FX gave us a bit of an ultimatum when they said, look, if you can get a big name on your show and we can attract some more viewers, you're doing this so cheaply that it's worth it for us to take another crack at it. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised, though, that they didn't just can it. Like, why exactly?
They liked it.
They liked it.
They liked it.
Yeah.
They liked it.
They
They saw some potential.
Yeah, and we were skeptical about bringing on a new cast member, but at that point we were already talking about meeting some of the parents on the show, so it kind of did go hand in hand with that. It's just the idea of making that person a regular cast member felt a little like, wait, that's going to fuck with the dynamic too much. But do you guys remember some of the names that we were throwing out in terms of people that we thought would be good to play Dennis and Dee's father? I remember at one point we were talking about Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta, I remember.
We got very serious about Ray Liotta.
I just worked with Ray Liotta.
I know. Yeah, he's
Love
great.
him. He's the best. I think also maybe the FX was like, well, you know, who else gives this show a giant thumbs up? The Catholic Church. You know, no problems here.
No problem
No
there.
problem. We're not seeing any problems. So
We definitely, I remember expecting like a lot of pushback from whatever those like family councils are, whatever.
Yeah,
And
at the time, it was the right that was coming after television shows. Now it's the left.
Yeah, that's sort of an amalgam of a number of different extremities. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were actually kind of disappointed
Nothing.
when it just kind of went straight past
And
everything.
our justification was like, oh, well, because people understand it's satire, they understand what we're trying to do. It really it was that they weren't watching it.
No, it wasn't.
They'd
impactful.
never heard of it. And I remember after that first year that we put out a DVD and Blockbuster wouldn't carry it. They wouldn't carry it. Fuck Blockbuster.
What do you
I'm
mean?
so glad they failed. Yeah, they wouldn't carry the DVD.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even content. It was because we just weren't like.
Right.
Like FX
it wasn't.
together it wasn't big enough.
Wasn't worth the shelf
That's
space.
right. And we didn't do it on the first season. I think we released
we're not an indie film establishment here. You know, we're a major
Blockbuster.
Right. It's called
We're looking
Blockbuster.
for blockbusters, not
I think for years they didn't.
not yard busters.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
They
didn't
sort of
carry
patio buster.
Yeah. My wife's parents, Mary Elizabeth Ellis, her parents, the Ellises, are sitting in the police station. When yes, they're just sitting on a bench talking. They were in town visiting her, and they came to set to watch us filming. And we, you know, they were like, "Oh, I don't know if they asked or if we were like, do you want to be in a shot?" And they're like, "Oh, that'd be fun." I always felt bad about this, you know, because they're from southern Mississippi, very conservative part of the world, obviously. And here they are in this episode of television entirely about like molestation.
Right.
And I'm completely unable to tell their friends, like, oh yeah, you gotta watch Charlie's show. It's all about.
Here's a question for you, Charlie. I think I know what the answer is for you, Rob. But Charlie, when you were making this show, was there a part of you that was like worried about how your parents were going to react to it?
No, fortunately.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have that too bad.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Thank God.
I definitely was.
I'm sure.
I mean, I
understandably.
Yeah, I mean, my whole family is pretty conservative, and they're all Christians. And I just thought, because when you're an actor, you have the excuse of like, I'm taking a gig, and I thought it was cool, and whatever.
But I didn't write the thing.
I didn't create the damn thing. I'm just playing a character, like whatever. But like with this, it was like, and that was always my excuse for almost everything I did. And then when we created this show, I was like, well, shit, I can't do that anymore. So I guess I need to tell my parents who I really am. So that's when my parents discovered the real me. And you know what? It was great, actually. They were very supportive. They didn't, you know what they did? My parents would always say, like, we don't like all the GDs. Can y'all stop with it? If y'all could just do the GDs. It's hard for us to watch it with all the GDs in it. And it just so happened that goddamn or goddammit was like my favorite curse word at the time, and probably still is.
It's up there.
Yeah, that's a big one for our show.
My grandmother watched every episode and she would mute it.
Oh yeah, my grandmother.
Yeah, so she would just
used to
turn
watch
all
it
the
too.
sound down and then she could just watch it, but not listen to it, which I thought was really great.
She found the content objectionable, did she?
I suppose so. She didn't really get into that as to why she did that. I just think it was like, I like looking at my grandson, but I don't need to hear what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't need to hear this.
Yeah.
I don't need to hear this. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. It just I want to experience the experience of seeing my grandson on television. That's exciting enough to actually then go and listen to it. That's a whole other level that I'm not interested in.
They're also from a generation where children, didn't need to be heard at all anyway.
Yeah,
Just seen from
Right.
time to time.
right.
would
My
come
grandmother probably would have been embarrassed that I even had the gall to be on television, like that I would even think that anyone. It's like. That would have been arrogant to her. It would have been arrogant to be like, you just think that people want to see you. That's very arrogant.
That's very oppressive and withholding of her.
Yeah. I have a funny story about my grandma if you guys want to hear it.
No.
Okay.
No, not
so-
really.
It's actually really funny.
No, please. Tell us about your grandmother.
I'm not going to tell you about my grandmother, but she was a very conservative woman from Mississippi. And there was this one time where my mom was going to visit my grandmother when she was in a nursing home. And she showed up. And the nurse went to my grandmother, who we called Meemaw. And again, this was the South. And the nurse went to Meemaw and she said, "Oh, your daughter Janice is here to visit you." And my grandmother said, "I don't have a daughter. I have never been with a man." She just,
okay.
yeah, she was insisting to the entire nursing staff that she couldn't possibly have a daughter because she had never had sex with a man, because that would be scandalous to someone of her generation, in her mind.
What about the Virgin Mary? You know, like, do you ever think about how that went
She
down?
fucked.
You know,
She fucked. Come on, let's be honest. Virgin Mary? No, she fucked. Everyone back then knew that she fucked. That was her whole thing. She fucks. Oh, should I not? Sorry.
No, that's all right. It's all right. We got to make sure we clear this podcast with the Catholic Church. But,
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I interrupted you with my stupid joke.
No.
My offensive joke.
I'm moved past it.
Okay. Were you going to ask a question about the Virgin Mary that you wanted a real answer to? Like, what was her deal?
Sure wasn't.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say, like, what was her relationship with Jesus?
I was going to go into
With Jesus?
I was going to go into a bit as well. Of course.
She was his mother.
Right. But I mean, what was her deal? Like, did she love him? Was she real?
Was she overwhelmed by his fame? You know,
Right.
was it like Jesus had his own TV show in a way, and she was just embarrassed the way your grandmother? It was like
It's like being Julie Cruz, right? Or whoever Tom Cruise's mom is. It's just like, wow, how do I deal with this? You know what I mean? My son is Tom Cruise. Yeah. Except her name is Julie Mapother, because that's his real last name. Come on, let's be honest.
Mapother?
Mapother, yeah.
Mapother.
No,
That's his real last name. Yeah. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but
never heard of such a name.
Tom Mapother. I do think his middle name really is Cruz, though.
Yeah. Tom Cruise Mapother.
I would have gone with Cruz as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shit,
If I had a time machine,
What
I'd
would you
go
do?
back and change my name as soon as I got out.
Right. What would you change it to,
What
Rob?
would you change it to?
I would keep it simple. Dump truck, you know?
Rob Dump Truck.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very
man.
masculine.
Man, that's cool.
I would have been like Glenn Boulder.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You would have changed Howerton?
In a heartbeat. You know what? I would have changed Glenn
you don't
too.
really have much.
I'd be Tom Boulder. You know what I mean? And then I would have, and I would have put on, and I would have hit crunch a little bit harder than I did at the time in my early 20s, and I would have, I would have put on Boulder shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have really put on those
I
Boulder
get also,
shoulders.
changing the first name. And if I would have went with like Gary Dump Truck.
Gary Dump
Okay,
Truck.
here's the thing. You're remembering that name. Right? No matter
Yeah.
what. You're never going to forget that name.
Yeah.
You meet that guy one time, you're talking about him when you leave the
Talking
party.
about Gary Dump Truck.
Did you fucking meet that
Yeah,
guy?
Did you
but
meet that guy?
You're limiting.
Not much to say about his personality, but his name.
Yeah, but you're not getting tons of work as Gary Dump Truck. You know, you're getting some funny, like, aha, we got Gary Dump Truck on the show again. But, you know, you're not out front and center because they don't want
Gary
to put
Dump
that,
Truck does stand up.
He does something very
Yeah,
specific.
they don't want to put that on the movie posters. So let's get a different name there.
Yeah.
Robert Blaze.
Rob Blaze.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I had
It's not too late, man.
Robert
People still don't know who you are. It's not too late.
I know.
They really don't.
It's
They
not
really
too
don't.
late, man.
I could do it. I could do it
glommed yourself
today.
onto so many people, and they still don't know who
You
you
could-
are.
I'm always
could
the
do
friend. I'm the third party.
I'm telling you, man, you could be Rob Blaze now, and no one would even notice.
I had a nickname. Well, so my freshman year of high school.
Oh,
Our, our
yeah.
teacher, we had a teacher
Yeah.
who said, hey, this was so fucking cruel. And I was a 14-year-old boy, so whatever. She was very kind enough to say, like, I'll call you by your nicknames if you want me to. So when we go around, you introduce yourself, you give a nickname. So
think
she got to me.
This is a story I've heard before.
Yes, I've heard this.
Yeah, I remember you were giving us shit about, like,
Yes.
we never remember anything.
But he's doing this for the podcast.
No,
he knows
I'm doing it
he's-
for the podcast,
I
and
know,
also because
but
you said
I
the
want
word
you to
Blaze.
know that I remember you
Me too.
told the story.
Okay,
Me
finish
too.
it.
But if it makes you feel
fi-
better, I don't remember.
finish it.
I don't remember what the name is.
Well, then you don't remember the story.
I don't remember
Finish
the story. I just remember that you told me the story.
I don't remember the name either.
Well,
I remember
then
the story.
you don't know the story.
I know
We
the
actually
story, I just don't know the
had
fucking
this conversation
name.
about names.
Yeah, but
when
you
we-
took the opposite side of it. You took the other side of it. where
I did,
you didn't
but
know
now
the
I'm
kid's
proving
name.
the point to you that you do know the story insofar as you heard the story, but you don't remember the actual events of the
That
story.
is correct. Now go
Dude,
with the story.
I
Go.
don't even know what you're talking about right now. I've already moved on to other thoughts.
No, go,
I've
go,
had
go. I wanna hear it.
I've had 15 thoughts since I last
Well,
said
I
that
like
last
hearing these stories over and over again because they're good stories. Now go.
Okay, so she gets to me. Everybody's saying whatever their name is or the nickname. When she gets to me, I say Blade.
That's
Blade.
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I wanted her called. I'm just fucking around because
Yeah.
I'm 14.
Yeah.
She's like, "What's your name? Your nickname?" And I said, "Well, everybody calls me Blade." And she was like, "Blaze?" And I, at that point, like, didn't. Then I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, I'm this is like first day of school. I'm gonna get
Right.
called out. So I
Right.
just said yes. And she was like, "Okay, Blaze." And I was like, "All right." And then from that point
I
forward,
must have.
You
I must have
registered it subconsciously.
subconsciously pulled that up.
she called me Blaze for a long time.
I'm
And
going to
then-
call you Blaze from now on.
yes.
I'm not.
And
I'm
then,
not either.
interestingly enough, she spelled it. If she spelled it Blaze,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, that's still kind of cool.
Oh, she spelled it the French way?
She
like
spelled like
AISE?
blase. Yeah,
Blase?
BLAISE.
ISE. Yeah.
And then I was like, is she
Robert
fucking with me?
Blaze?
Maybe she's fucking with me. And then she
Oh.
noticed that nobody in the school called me Blaze.
Was he
Not
your French
one
teacher?
person. He was a math teacher, algebra.
Ooh, Roberta Blaze.
And she realized she'd been had.
She had been had.
She'd been at.
And then we went back to Rob.
We went back to Rob, yeah.
So Blaze.
Did people call
Soldier
you
Special
Robbie at all when you were younger? Robbie?
You know what they called me? I did have a weird nickname that my wrestling coach called me.
Oh boy.
You guys know this. Of course you know this.
This I don't recall.
That's amazing.
No.
I was called Squirrely D.
Squirrely D? What was
Squirrel.
the D? What did the
They
D?
call me Squirrel.
What did the D stand
What
for,
is the
Robin?
D?
Be honest.
Oh,
These
Lord.
guys were South Philly meatballs. It turns out that one of them is in jail and then got out and is now in the witness protection program because he was a fucking gangster who ratted on a bunch of other gangsters. He was our wrestling coach, one of our wrestling
Oh,
coaches.
shit. What did the D stand for, though?
I don't know. Like I said, they were meatballs who called everything like Tommy D, and I was Squirrely D.
Squirrely D. Why not Squirrely B for like Bob or
Don't know.
Squirrely R? I mean, it doesn't sound good.
D
but
can only be Dick.
that's what I'm saying.
You think-
They saw a little squirrel in your pants
So
and they were like,
saw,
let's.
yeah, they saw you in the gym, changing
Those-
into your leotard, and they said,
Those singlets
oh,
are
man.
tight.
Hey, look at that little squirrely D.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Robbie's got a squirrely D.
You know what? Maybe we should call him a chipmunk. It's a little smaller than a squirrel.
Yeah, poor Rob's got a little squirrely D.
Little squirrely D.
Robbie.
Squirrely D.
Hey, go get him, squirrely D. Oh, look at him try.
Well, you must have been good in your. How much did you fucking weigh when you were wrestling?
87 pounds.
Oh my God,
My
87
freshman year of
pounds.
high school, I know that for a fact because the lowest weight class was 103.
Boy,
I just got
was there like one only? There was only
absolutely-
it was just you and one other guy. It was always the two of you wrestling because nobody
I would
else
have
could
to
have been
wrestle
that
the
size.
103 guys and
What?
went, yes,
Yeah.
because
And
it was
how'd
the
you do?
lowest. I got fucking destroyed. I sucked.
You did?
Well, you
Awful.
shouldn't be wrestling someone 103 if you're 80.
Correct.
Yeah,
How
what
many
well, there's
fuck?
not a lot of
86?
87. There's not a lot of
87.
87
If the
pound
squirrel
freshmen.
wasn't so your D wasn't so squirrely, you might have been 88 or 89. But
Right.
I have a 10-year-old son who weighs 90 pounds. I don't understand.
And you were how? And we're what
I was
age?
14.
14. Oh boy.
You wonder why I'm telling my teachers my name's Blade? I'm looking for attention
Any way you
get.
can get it. Yeah.
You think I want to whip out my squirrely dick? No.
No.
I got
It's too small.
No,
It's
no,
too
no,
small.
no,
It's too
no, no.
mangled.
You're in Catholic school. It's too risky.
Yeah, it's too. Somebody might grab a hold
Right.
of it.
Somebody might have started
Somebody
sucking
might suck on it. And
Somebody.
that's-
Yeah. Somebody definitely would
That
have
starts
started
getting
sucking on
passed
it.
around
Those-
the hallways, and
Yeah.
Those priests don't care how squirrely it is. They'll pop that right now.
that's right.
Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun, guys. Bye.
That's the end of season 1, but tune in for season 2.
And much like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it seems unimaginable that this endeavor could continue. And yet, I think we'll just carry on.
We're gonna push through until it becomes good or just continues to get worse. Bye bye.